Okay, so the vlog I'm gonna record today is actually a vlog that I should have done a long time ago. And I actually didn't have the energy to record the vlog. And I've actually tried to do it a couple of times, and then every time something happens. But I think it was also for a reason, because I needed to experience certain things, um, some more unpleasant but necessary. Now, today's vlog is all about changing your lifestyle, and changing your lifestyle, especially when you need to do it, when it's a necessity, when it's life threatening. I think that every single one of us has a lifestyle challenge that you need to address, to make sure that you live a life that is to the fullest. I think everyone has a challenge out there, whether it is alcohol, whether it is eating, or your weight, whether it is exercising and being healthy, whether it is your finances, whether it is relationships, whether it is work, or whether it is lack of sleep, and the list goes on. But I also do believe that your challenge, or challenges you have, there's a connection between your challenges and your temperament, the way God made you. And there's nothing wrong for the way God made you. But with every temperament, there is challenges that you need to be aware of and that you need to address. If I just look into my own life, my challenges is, or certain characteristics is high energy, it's all or nothing, can be stubborn. If you have your mind set on something, then you just go for it. You're always busy, whether it is with a project or whether it's with people. And you're a double extrovert. So none of that is a bad thing, but there can be challenges because of that. And that is what I experienced when I didn't listen to my body and to my husband as well. When they saw certain things in my life that I need to address. Sometimes things are just, it is just circumstances that's just out of your control. If you're a mom and you have a small baby, then it is something that it's totally out of your control. You are going to sleep less because there is a baby that you need to feed, and so forth. But I always believe that there is a plan of action that can be made. And when you have that warning signs or something that happened in your life maybe you had a second chance. I do believe that whatever happens to you, God is always in control. And just looking at my own experience and what happened to me, I believe that there is a medical, there's a medical factor, and then there is also I can't think of the English word, 'n geestelike factor, a spiritual factor as well. But I won't get into that because that is going to be very controversial, and that is like a topic for another day. But just looking at the medical factor, there is medically nothing wrong with me. I've had in the past few years, I think 3 or 4 MRIs done. I had many teams of neurologists, I hope I pronounce it correctly, sitting around a table, and none of them could find something that's wrong with me. But our bodies is just, it's fragile. And this past Sunday, our pastor also preached about your body being a temple of God, and how do you look after it. And if you are someone with high energy, struggle to just, get your mind to, go on a pause, you're always physically busy, and then with all of that, you struggle to sleep. I mean, that is like a deadly combination. So, my plan of actually was actually given to me by the doctor. He told me that he's going to put me on medication. It is medication that's not addictive. It is actually just going to help me calm down by nighttime and during the day, so that you can be calmer, and especially by night, so that you can calm down and sleep properly. And then he told me to actually take at least 1 month sabbatical, but preferably a 6-month sabbatical, total lifestyle change, take everything, just, like we were running 120 all the time, you need to go down like 60, 40, 30, really, really calm down. And one of the side effects of the medication I'm on with, as I said previously with another vlog I did, is that I just had like no energy. Like walking to the bathroom and back, I was out of breath. I was like, it's just, you can't even think how it's like a total fatigue. So I was actually forced to do nothing. Many of my friends said when I do my vlogs, I look so full of energy. But I think it's just because I'm passionate about the message I want to get across. Now, I really do believe that you can have a plan of action, but if there is no motivation, then it's going to be difficult for you just to start. And the motivation must be very clear. Why do I need to do it? Am I going to lose my marriage? Am I going to lose friends? Actually dear friends, real friends? Am I going to maybe die because of a heart attack, because I'm a workaholic? Is it possible that I can become an alcoholic because I don't know when to stop drinking? Or whatever the reason might be. Me, not sleeping, don't shut down physically, mentally, you're going to have a seizure and all the other things that happen with that. And one of my friends, it's actually so funny, it's an Afrikaans ministry, or the name of the ministry is in Afrikaans, I don't know, but they will definitely accommodate English people as well. But the Afrikaans ministry is begin het. Just start. And I think that is sometimes the hardest thing just to do, just to start, just to take the first step. Maybe you should just, stop socializing with a certain group of people. Maybe you should just get a routine. Maybe you should discipline yourself to say, an hour before I go to bed, I'm going to put my cell phone aside. And I don't care what happens, but if someone can't get hold of me, they will give me a call if it's that urgent. But you really need just to start and start with your plan of action. And then you have to have that support group, the people that will support you without this, but in love and with I see you start just putting 10 things in a time frame that should have been a lot more than that. So I think that is very important, to have that input, objective input from people that know you, that sees you a lot, that knows what's going on in your life and who really cares. And just to remember that it's a process. And those people should also remember it's a process. It's not something that's going to change overnight. But little by little you will get there. Now, I spoke about the, to have that motivation. And for me, there is a long-term vision and a short-term vision. Now, my short-term vision and motivation is, the doctor said that if I can change my lifestyle and sleep properly and don't have any seizures in 6 months' time, then I will be able to drive after 6 months, because I'm not allowed to drive now. And so that's my short-term vision. I want to be able to be independent again. Being dependent, being dependent, for me is just, that's a challenge. But I also think that and then long-term motivation will be to have a lifestyle that, so that I can be here for my family and my friends and my kids, and being an example of a balanced lifestyle, of what can happen to you if you don't have that balance, and if you don't look after your body holistically. And then obviously I am currently bringing up and mentoring my daughter-in-law's husbands, showing them, what is normal, showing them what is, what's the norm. I am bringing up my grandchildren's dad and dads. So also showing them, how to live your life. And then it is just so important to have someone being objective and telling you when there is change, positive change as well, especially positive change, because I know it was, last week when I said, I still feel so tired. When is it ever going to get better? And one of my friends said, you know what, Crisanda, you're not that out of breath anymore when you walk to the bathroom and back. You actually did a trip to Pretoria with 2 kids. You did a full day course, and you actually came back, it wasn't, the best for your body, but, you did it, and it was only by God's grace. Making these changes, this lifestyle changes, is going to be difficult, because you might change, as I said before, the people you socialize with, the routine in your life. I love socializing. I love spending time with people. And I'm one of those, I will always, I will most of the time leave, I'll be the last to leave. But for me now to be able to say, I need to leave at, 8:30, 8:45, because I need to shower and I need to be in bed by 9:30 at the latest, so that I can, shut down my body, shut down my mind, so that I can have a good night rest. And again, for everyone, the challenges and the decisions you need to make is going to be different. And then obviously we can't do this without God. I remember when the doctor told me that I wasn't going to be able to drive for 6 months. I was like, 6 months, like half a year. And he said yes. And he said that for the next at least month, 2 months, you need to take a total sabbatical. And for the next 6 months, you really need to just make a total lifestyle change. I can remember I started crying, but because I'm a social person, I made friends with the other patients in the room, and I can remember the one lady that was laying across, you know, yeah, on the other side of the room. She just came over and, you know, not feeling well as well, and she just said, you know, don't worry, God will carry you through this. You will get through this. And sometimes someone just need to tell you that when you're just so overwhelmed and emotional and, you know, all of that. And then also, God wants us to have a healthy, wealthy life, because He loves us. He wants us to be happy and healthy and not in pain. And sometimes we make decisions and sometimes stuff happens, but He will always try and help you to make it so that it is for His glory. And if what happened to me didn't happen to me, I wouldn't have started the vlog, I think. That helped other people. There was one course I did and I've shared against my will, but God just laid it on my heart to share, and I shared in detail what happened to me. And there was four families that told me that they got the wake-up call during that course with that specific thing I've shared. And it made the world's difference to their lives. And then again, also remembering what is really important. When I did my Pretoria trip, I've spent a lot of time with people very close to me, and because I was, you know, my energy levels were like nearly non-existing, I had to sit back and actually just watch and couldn't engage in activities. And for the first time, I actually saw them doing things that in the past was the norm, was normal to me. That was how I lived my life. And I just looked at them, and I was just exhausted just by looking at them. And for the first time, I understood why my husband said many times, you're just making me, you know, tired looking at you. So if we're so busy and everything is so time driven, and we're just running, and we're always running from one thing to another, we're gonna forget about the people, you know, along the path. Because we're here to support other people. We're here to have input in other people's lives. We're here to share stuff that happened to our lives so that other people can learn from it. We're here to tell people about God, to be an example. And if you're always busy and always too busy and just always on a rush, what kind of an example is that to other people? And I don't say that you must be, Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect. But just stop and think about, what am I doing now? And what's the word? And what's the impact and what's going to happen? What message do I get, send across? And you can see that I'm getting tired now. So I just want you to think about, in your lifestyle, what is it that you need to change? And what is your motivation? And are you going to make that commitment to make that change and to stick to it? Because it's not going to be easy, but in the end, it's going to be worth it.